Well, Jacob Frick will tee the ball up at the 40-yard line. The Mustangs will be moving from right to left on the field. Opening kickoff is brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance, locally in Fort Morgan and Brush, offers home, health, auto, farm, business, and workers' compensation insurance. Frick has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. 3 men back deep to receive for Northridge. The Mustangs check off. Frick approaches, and we are underway here tonight. The ball will be fielded at the 4-yard line. It will be a reverse, this time coming to the near side as a man for Northridge. After 2 players got their hands on it, he will be out of bounds at the 41-yard line, so a good return of 35 yards after a little bit of trickery by Northridge.
Yeah, Fort Morgan, Northridge came around off the right side. There's only one kid home, that's sophomore Matthew Hoffman, and he did his job, played safety valve, and made a really nice open field tackle.
So Northridge will start their opening possession of the game at the 40-yard line. Hey, PA announcement comes over there, short somebody on the chain crew. They could use the Fort Morgan Volunteer Fire Department here.
Absolutely.
11:36 on the clock. The 40-yard line is where Northridge is on the near hash. They'll run the ball through the middle of the line, gain a couple yards, and it'll be a 2nd and 7, a long 7 for the Grizzlies, who are going no huddle in this quick offense. Officially, they'll call it 2, and it'll be a 2nd and 8. Some substitutions being made now for Fort Morgan, as Jay Carpenter comes on to the defensive line. Unlucky break there that time is Fulton, the quarterback for Northridge. We'll let you know how his stats have been going this year. Hands off to Stephen Cunningham, who falls at the 40-yard line, so the 2 yards gained on the first play gone there. Ball be spotted in the middle of the field. Robert Fulton, the quarterback for this Northridge team, last week went 9 for 23. Season high in pass attempts, 39%. He had 90 yards and a pick. He also had 7 carries for 45 yards. On the season, though, 49 of 97 for 51%, 532 yards. Now he'll be in the shotgun with 4 receivers, 2 split each way. It'll look to this near side, and it'll go through his intended receiver's hands and fall incomplete. Bradley Marks being sought out by Fulton that time, and that'll bring up a 4th and 10, and Northridge will be forced to punt.
Yeah, nice defensive stand for the Fort Morgan Mustangs on this first drive. Looks like they'll get the ball back in decent field position for their first drive.
Back to kick for the Grizzlies, Michael Graff. A wide punt formation by the Grizzlies. Graff gets up a very nice tight spiral. It'll be fielded at the 26-yard line, and gang tackled there is the Fort Morgan punt returner.
Yeah, that was almost ill-advised. He should have probably called a fair catch there. The defender's only a couple yards away. When he caught it, he was lucky to hold on.
So Northridge, with their opening possession, the great field position from the opening kick, goes 3 and out. And with 9:53 showing on the clock here at District 6 Stadium, the Mustangs will get to work from their own 27-yard line. Martin's under center, turns hands off to his back. That is Jose Fedoa seeing his first action of the season tonight.
Yeah, sophomore Fedoa hasn't made it in to at least not carry the ball at all on the varsity carries.
He gets a minimal gain, maybe back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 2nd and 10. Ball on the far hash. Again, the Mustangs moving right to left on your radio dial. Martins has 3 men in the backfield, a very heavy formation. Will turn and hand the ball off. This time it's coming to the near side. Fitzsimmons with it. He drops the football, but right there on the spot at the 30-yard line is another Fort Morgan player. He jumps on it. That is Nate Alexander with the fumble recovery, so the Mustangs will maintain possession, and it'll be a 3rd and long from the 30-yard line on the near hash.
Not the kind of start Fort Morgan's offense needed. 2 plays and a loss of Well, I guess he got a gain of that on that one. Looked at sticks.
They'll officially call it a 3rd and 7, a long 6, more like it. But again, 2 tight ends flex to the far side, 1 tight end to this near side, 2 fullbacks, and 1 up back in the backfield for Martins under center. He'll turn and pitch this time to Fitzsimmons, who's looking to throw. He's got a man open down the field. The pass is dropped. A great defensive play that time for Northridge. Getting his hand in there, Jacob Lobato for the Grizzlies, as Fitzsimmons was looking to do that halfback pass that we've seen work before, but this time it falls incomplete, and the Mustangs will have to punt.
Yeah, Fitzsimmons just didn't put enough air underneath that one. He had the guy open by about 5 yards, but when he had to stop and wait for the ball, the defenders got down there and broke it up.
Tony Zwetzig into punt for the Mustangs. He's averaging 34.96 on his 22 punts on the year. Plenty of time to get this one off, though it is almost blocked. Gets over kind of a lame duck that'll hop at the 40 and then bounce out of bounds at the Northridge 32, and a late flag comes in, probably for a little bit of play after the whistle. We'll see what this is. Coming from the sideline judge here on this near sideline, and the Northridge coaches over there pleading with him to figure out why this penalty is going against his team is my only guess.
Yeah, I didn't see any activity down there that would warrant this. Unless maybe it's a sideline warning because the kids are on the field.
That would be the best guess of any, Kevin, if there was. We'll see what the sideline official tells now to the man in the white hat. I believe that's an illegal block in the back right at the end of the play, so that will move Northridge back from where they had the ball at the 31-yard line, push them all the way back to the 21-yard line, ball spotted on the near hash, and with 7:57 here in the first quarter, that is where their second drive of the game will start.
That's absolutely frustrating for a coach when your receiver doesn't even pick up the punt or run with the ball, and you still get a penalty on it.
Fulton has a couple receivers that he likes to go to if he does, when he does throw the football, Michael Graff being one of them. He's a 6'2 junior, 175 pounds. He's got 16 catches on the year for 175 yards and a touchdown. Interesting note about this Northridge team, they've only scored 4 touchdowns, and all of them have come from passing. Fulton now under center as he brings a man in motion from the far side. He'll turn and give the ball. No, keeping himself on the option. He's got room to run. He spins away from his tacklers. He gets to the 40, across the 40 to about the 41, 42. So a big gain there. Call that a gain of 17. Now we'll call it 19 yards. It'll be the 1st and 10 there from the 41-yard line for the Grizzlies, and they quickly break the huddle and get to the line of scrimmage. Again, the give goes to a back in the backfield from Fulton. He'll drive through the middle of the line and pick up 2 yards. It'll be a 2nd and 8 from the 44.
Yeah, they're just running that triple option action, and on the last play, the quarterback faked the dive and went out around the left hand, and then this last play, he gave it up the middle.
The officials will give that back 3 yards on that carry, so it'll be a 2nd and 7. Fulton will fake the handoff, look to pass. He sees Graff out here in the flat, but it'll fall incomplete as Fulton was under pressure that time by T.J. Schneider. He had to get rid of that ball a little bit quicker than he wanted to as Schneider didn't bite on the play fake, and Fulton throws the incomplete.
Absolutely. It seemed like he had some time there, and the player was open, and he just couldn't deliver it.
Already better than the first drive as both teams swapped 3 and outs. Now we see Fulton in the shotgun. A little bit of a wayward snap, but he's able to recover it. But before he can, he'll be swarmed under by a few Mustang tacklers coming away with the sack. Phil Villarreal in action tonight.
He dropped the ball on the snap, and by the time he picked it up, there were 2 or 3 Fort Morgan Mustangs coming in for the attack.
So after the sack, that will push Northridge back to a 4th and forever, and Graff will come out to punt. Gets off a nice high spiral. Julie Hernandez back to receive, and he will run away from it. It bounces at the 30, all the way down to the 20 with the Northridge bounce, and it'll be down there at the 20-yard line. So a good punt that time for Northridge. 56 is what they're calling it. And Fort Morgan will take its second possession at their own 20.
So far, not a very exciting game. Not really any great defensive plays, but just good defense. Only one first down so far, and that's for Northridge. I hope Fort Morgan can maybe get back to their inside running game and try and get some yards on this.
1st and 10, ball spotted at the far hash at the 20-yard line. 5:34 and counting on the clock now as Martins turns, hands the ball to his back, and he's got a lot of room to run. It looks like Alexander to the far sideline. It'll be met right at the sticks, lean forward, but he has enough for the first down out to the 31-yard line.
All right, very nice run there. Just ISO where the fullback comes up and blocks the linebacker in the hole, and the tailback comes up and gets a nice gain.
So from the 31-yard line at the far hash, now we'll see two receivers split out for Fort Morgan, 2 men in the backfield in an I formation. Again, the give goes to the deep man in the backfield. As he's being brought down, and he crosses the 35-yard line. That was Alexander on the give. They'll give him the 36-yard line, so it'll bring up a 2nd and 5.
Yeah, nice run by Alexander there. He looked like maybe he coughed up the ball there at the end. One of the officials throwing down his bag, but the other official blowing it dead.
Pineda stretched to his near side, a receiver to the far side. 2 tight ends in for Martins, who has an I formation with Miranda in the backfield. A broken play that time as I think Miranda was supposed to get the give, and he went the wrong way. So Martins will try to get back to the line of scrimmage, keeping himself coming to his near side, but he'll be wrapped up as he does just barely get to the line of scrimmage. So we'll see a 3rd and 5.
Yeah, you couldn't see his face, but from the way he was kind of frantically looking around, the play didn't develop the way he thought it was going to, and he was lucky to get it back to the yard mark for the original line of scrimmage.
Mustang football is brought to you by T.O. Charlie's. See T.O. Charlie's for a great used car truck today. If you don't see what you want on the lot, they will find it for you at 700 West Platte in Fort Morgan. I formation, 2 men flex to the far side this time. As Martins is looking to pass it this time. Got a man open. He overthrows him, though. Intended target that time, I believe, Aaron Anderson. But Martins throwing on the run, not accurate that time, so we'll see another punt here for Fort Morgan.
Yeah, I'm not very comfortable with Fort Morgan allowing Northridge to kind of hang around through this first quarter. Much rather see them putting some points on the board and putting Northridge on their heels.
The last time that Northridge scored points, it was the 4th quarter against Mountain View in Week 5. They were shut out last week. Prior to that, though, the last time Northridge scored was Week 1. So the Mustangs trying to keep Northridge off of the board. As Wetzig gets away the punt, and it'll bounce at the 30 and be fielded by the deep man for Northridge. Probably not a smart decision to pick up that football, but he will, and he'll be tackled right away at the 26-yard line. And that's where Northridge will start their 3rd possession of this first quarter. 3:36 on the clock, no score here at District 6 Stadium in Greeley. As this Tri-Valley League matchup between the Fort Morgan Mustangs and the Northridge Grizzlies is approaching the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, you're right. That wasn't very well advised. The ball was bouncing around, and he picked it up, got hit immediately.
Now a run play here for Northridge as they try to go through the middle of the line, and not much there. Maybe a gain of 1, so we'll have a 2nd and 9. They'll spot the ball at the 27-yard.
A nice run inside. Fort Morgan's doing a good job of not letting them get too far out of control there.
Spreading the field now is Northridge as they have a man all the way to the numbers here. The ball in the middle of the field. The man spread to the far side in the I formation. The give this time will go to the deep back. He tries to gain the edge on the far side, but he is unable to do it. Jaden Mills, the sophomore for Northridge, unable to get anything going. In fact, he might have lost a yard. He did. He lost 2 yards on that, so it'll be another 3rd and long play for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, Fort Morgan won the battle of the line of scrimmage there, and when he got to the line of scrimmage, it had already been moved back a couple yards.
So a 3rd and 11 play here. Now we see 4 wide this time for Northridge as Fulton's in the shotgun. He will turn and hand the delay, and he'll be met for the running back for Northridge in the backfield. Another loss that time.
Right. 27 Cook on that run. Got stuffed in the back.
TJ Schneider on the tackle in the backfield. So we'll see another punt now for the Grizzlies. Graff will come in and kick it away. 2 men deep. Yuli Hernandez the deepest for the Mustangs. The punt is off. This one a little bit lower, and Hernandez will have an opportunity to return. He gets it from the 45, crosses the 50, goes to that far sideline, gets to the other 45, and will be down at the 42, 43-yard line of Northridge territory. So good field position now for the Mustangs. Their best starting position on any drive they've had so far in this game.
Absolutely. And you heard watching college and pro games, the battle of the field position. Fort Morgan is winning it. Northridge comes out with really good field position all the way out to the 40. And in these 3 series of 3 and outs, Fort Morgan's now got the ball in Northridge territory.
A good return that time by Yuli Hernandez, and we see the Mustangs go to a little bit more of a pro look here as they have 2 tight ends, 2 men in the backfield. Alexander gets the give as the deep back. He'll run off tackle right, and he'll be across the 40 down to the 37-yard line, and the Mustangs are looking to go no huddle here, and they're right back on the football with a 2nd and 4. Martins, I believe, keeps it himself on a quick count that time. He gets across the 35-yard line down to the 34, so it'll be 3rd and shorter right at the sticks. It's going to be 3rd and about a yard.
Yeah, nice, strong after-contact run there.
Martins again with 2 men in the backfield. The give goes to Miranda, who will plunge through the middle of the line. He will have enough for the first down as he gets down to the 31-yard line of Northridge territory. The clock stops at 42.7 with the first down. So Fort Morgan getting their 2nd first down of this first quarter.
Absolutely establishing that running game, starting the adrenaline of homecoming starting to wear off of these Northridge Grizzlies, and now Fort Morgan is going to start dominating.
Really important that Fort Morgan cashes in this possession. I think it's a pivotal possession for the Mustangs as they had great field position. This time Alexander gets the give. He'll run through the middle of the line, have a ton of room. Will get right to the sticks, be just shy of it as he's finally brought down at the 22-yard line. So another good gain by Alexander, a gain of 9.
And you can almost hear the air coming out of the Northridge sidelines and the players out there, almost like they're saying, oh no, here we go again.
5 seconds left on the clock. Not sure if Fort Morgan will get a playoff, and Alexander gets it. He goes to the far side. He's got a lot of room in front of him. Gets down to the 5, and he dives into the end zone. A touchdown as time expires here in the first quarter. Nate Alexander with a 22-yard touchdown run to put Fort Morgan up 6-0 with 0 showing on the clock here in the first quarter.
What a beautiful run. He saw the daylight, and he just out-accelerated several Northridge defenders.
Harrison Chisholm told me that when the Mustangs scored tonight, they would do the swinging game. They're going to go for it. Miranda gets the pitch, the side snap, and he is into the end zone. So 8-0 now with the 2-point conversion after the touchdown. The Mustangs are on top. When we come back, it'll be a fresh 12 in the second quarter, but for now, 8-0 for the Mustangs. You're listening to Mustang Football on P106 and P106.com.